Big news in the USA overnight. So Congress voted in favour of releasing all the Epstein material, and you'll know that this is one where Trump promised he would do it, and then for some reason, we don't know why, Donald Trump seemed to be reluctant to do it. And he got very cross. I'll show you, this is him on his Air Force One, and he doesn't like answering questions. Have a look at this.
Sir, if there's nothing incriminating in the file, quiet.
That is like a line out of Deliverance. Quiet piggy.
It's disgusting.
He said to the female reporter.
It's always interesting, isn't it, when you kind of peek behind the curtain and he lets the mask slip for a second and you see exactly what a despicable person he is.
I think he's still got the mask on. He knows on Air Force One he's in a plane surrounded by journalists and he knows there's a camera on him and he's still willing to say it.
I agree.
What is he saying when there is nobody there?
I just think he probably is like that when there's nobody there. That's who he is.
I think he's worse. I reckon he'll be worse when there's no one.
So one of his key supporters is a woman called Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she's been all in for Trump for ages, and she's fallen out with him over this because she says the Epstein files must be released, and he called her a traitor. So have a look at this.
I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for, and I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America. And
she went on to say, Americans. So that's an interesting showdown, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
because she's been absolutely paid up for Trump and she's fallen out. This is the one area you can feel he's buzzing on. There's something in there he doesn't want to come out.
None of his behaviour since it was first announced that he might be in the Epstein files, none of his behaviour since then suggests that he's innocent. If you were innocent, you'd have just said, well, just release him. I've got nothing to hide. You wouldn't refer to people as traitors. You wouldn't criticise and shout down anyone. I mean, they've been the American people, even the MAGA fan base, who are, staunch sort of cult-like obsessives with him. Even they're at a stage where they're like, yeah, just release the files. If you've got nothing to hide.
Yeah. There's a lot there. So separately, just while we're on Trump, he had a visit from the Saudi prince, who basically is the ruler of Saudi Arabia. And the CIA I'll just try and sort of summarise this, but there was a Saudi journalist who worked and wrote critical columns for the Washington Post called Khashoggi, and he was invited in somehow into the Istanbul embassy, or the Saudi embassy in Turkey, and cut into pieces and taken out in a suitcase. And then the CIA said the guy who did it, who ordered it, was the Crown Prince. So you've got to bear in mind, Trump's sitting with the Crown Prince and he's asked about Khashoggi.
Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you? And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the worst in the business. But I'll answer your question. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it. And we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
I think he did know about it because he then went on to say it was a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
What a weird exchange.
It's so weird. And also the fact he's like, you don't have to embarrass our guest. It wasn't that long ago that he had Zelensky in his office that he was very deliberately embarrassing. Yeah. So, I mean, Trump is just a rule.
How did we get here? Like, how did we get to a stage where Donald Trump is in the White House speaking like that to professional journalists and people who are interested in the stories and entertaining men that
he offered people what they wanted because the politics was run by mainly blokes in suits and it didn't work. And now we've ended up with the anti-politician. That's the answer to your question. And it's happening all over the world. You know, and some people call it populism or whatever. It's not for me to judge. But, you know, the guy was voted in. In the end, for somebody who was blamed for, you know, starting a riot at the Capitol or whatever, he did submit himself for election a second and a third time. So he obviously believes in the democratic process. Old Trump, you're not convinced, obviously. You just basically don't like him.
Well, what's to like? I mean, I haven't seen.
But
I haven't
it's an election. He won an election.
I haven't seen a single. Yeah, but I mean, yes, he did win an election, but he just played into people's fears the same way that all populist parties and leaders do. They say that's the reason that your life is so awful. Vote for me and I'll fix it. Yeah. It's ridiculous. The American economy is in the gutter. There's no jobs. Every price in supermarkets has gone up. Nobody's happy. Everyone's having a terrible time, and you've got him entertaining these awful people simply because they're going to make massive investment into his
Claudia,
his
do you not
party.
have moments where you think Trump is what America needs right now?
No, I think the democratic process is important. He was voted in. Lots and lots of Americans love him. Personally, I think, as a person, it shocks me that somebody could be at the top of politics, basically in the world. He's running the most important, arguably the most important country in the world, and some of the stuff he comes out with is just completely outrageous.
He would love you, I'm sure, wouldn't he?
He probably would, yeah, because
But he's elected. I mean, you know, we do come down to this thing.
I think I do get some of the allure of Trump in the sense that he is bold. He says he makes I don't know. He's sort of like he's giving the people what they want and what they ask for. He's got an opinion. He's not a wet lettuce like our prime minister. But there's a line, and I think he seems to cross it every single time.
Yeah, but I think he's also running it as a comedy. Now, you've got to say he's running a show here.
Well, no, he's a gangster. He is. He's a New York mobster. He behaves exactly as a New York gangster would behave. He intimidates people. He intimidates his enemies.
Embarrasses them.
He embarrasses them. He's up to his neck in controversy and illegal dealings. He's in bed with foreign dictators. I mean, he is absolutely the epitome of a gangster.
Well, okay. Well, listen. I wondered, looking at Marjorie Taylor Greene there, who a lot of people have been very rude about over the years. I'm thinking maybe she's his successor. She's been a loyal person, and then she's put in some distance here. Anyway, and the Epstein files are coming out, so we're going to see everything. And that'll bring in Andrew, Mr. Windsor, as well. Let's talk about something closer to home.